Welcome to Seat Time, where we drink beer and talk about all the happenings with motorcycles.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, so I'm Brian Pierce, and I have Jason Schmidt sitting next to me, and we are Seat Time. We do Seat Time. It's a weekly video cast going. We just talk about all the off-road going-ons and happenings that do happen in the world and the week. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing a little bit of reviews. We watch things, we use things, we talk about stuff, and at the same time, we may not talk about beer in our reviews, but we're going to go ahead and use some motorcycle products and figure out how they work for us, how we think they might work for you. And that's what we're going to start with right now. We watched the DVD What If by Red Tide Pictures, and we both thought it was a really good DVD, and so we've got some opinions and some things we want to share with you guys about that. But Jason has actually got a really good write-up about kind of an overall for the DVD itself, and he's going to give us that right now. What do you have to say?
I definitely dug the DVD. It was all in all, it was a great opportunity to see some of your favorite off-road riders in something outside of race coverage. Yeah, Kurt Caselli.
Kurt Caselli.
Yeah. I mean, well, there were some other
really
awesome
good other
badass
guys
riders
too,
in there.
so.
But Caselli's in it, so of course our man crushes were throbbing with pleasure when we read the DVD case.
Put it away, Jordan.
Yeah. But it was great to see them outside of the race format, going out free riding their local trails. And something else that Brian and I started riding together motorcycle-wise after leaving the downhill mountain bike scene, things like that. At those races, when we would go out riding for a weekend, when we go out riding for a weekend now on our mechanized transport.
Something with the throttle.
Yeah, trying to convey through a photo or through video, sometimes trying to convey speed, showing how fast you're hitting a section, the steepness, just how gnarly terrain was. It's really hard to do on the amateur side of things.
Yeah, conveying that sometimes can really be a trifle.
Cinematography on this, you absolutely felt that butt pucker factor of how steep some of the stuff was, some of the hits they were taking, and how unruly fast, how they do something entirely different on a motorcycle than I do.
Than we even dream about.
Yeah, I went outside and I apologized to my bike because I'm like, I am a quarter of a man, apparently.
We need to watch it together and I will show you what you should be doing.
Yeah, I understand why if my bike had eyes, it would roll them every time I was kickstarting it because I watched this video. I watched this video and I realized I am a twat.
Yeah, that's okay. We all try to ride motorcycles. We all try to have fun. A couple of the sections that we thought were really, really good. I thought the Caleb Russell episode or section was really good.
Yeah.
They actually did minus the music. I think they had a little fun, quirky intro for it, but one of his requests was that they didn't do any music. And I thought that was, to say it oddly, very heavenly to see that and to hear that because he wrung the piss out of that 250.
I was about to say that he just whipped that KTM's ass, and it was awesome to hear because, like, if I'm going through people's, and I'll admit that I have no life, so I'll cruise around on YouTube and Vimeo and look for just random strangers riding videos. And when they set it to music and they completely take the sound of the bike out of it, it loses a lot for me. Having a section where I could just hear that thing, just having the tits wrung off it, I loved it.
So if you're looking for anything like that, you definitely follow it in the Caleb Russell section. And then we went to Kurt Caselli was one of the other sections. I mean, you can't not like Kurt Caselli. The guy's an animal, and he's definitely one of our favorite animals. So
yeah, off-road wise, it doesn't get any better than his riding. I watched that section, and once again, making me feel like a quarter of a man. I would just like my big note from it is I need to learn how to ride in sand because that's one thing from this video. You can go back and just watch some of it. It's not like you're getting a personal lesson on how to ride. I'm not going to oversell it like that, but there are things just watching the way they carry speed, carry momentum through things, trust in their tires, watching that section, him just ripping the hell out of some sand. I was like, okay, I need to quit being
It was sandy, it was fast, and it was sexy. It was Kurt Caselli. That's pretty much what you get out of that section.
Yeah.
I thought Kyle Redmond's was another one we were talking about that we both enjoyed. It's a very, very rocky section.
Yeah.
But he has a trials background, so I really think that he kind of brought that big bike trials mentality, or I guess a trials background to a big bike mentality together really well.
Absolutely. I love someone taking trials hit style stuff on a big bike, and it makes me realize, like, oh, the clutch. I should familiarize myself with you. This would probably be good for me.
Yeah.
That section, though, the way he was popping off stuff, I mean, it just had a badass vibe to it. I've always had a soft spot for Kawasaki's as well. So seeing that,
The green looked good.
Yeah, I mean,
he made the green look good. That's for dang sure.
yeah, definitely the area that he's riding in that video, I can't remember where it is, but it has some
Utah,
awesome, yeah, somewhere in
maybe?
Utah. They have a lot of rocks.
And Mormons.
Yeah, and Mormons. That's the other thing I was about to say.
But he
No,
wasn't riding
no,
on
we
the
weren't.
Mormons.
We
He was
weren't
riding
going to
on
say
the-
that.
He was riding
Never
on the
mind.
rocks. He was right on the rocks.
He was
man.
riding on
That's
the rocks.
fine.
He wasn't riding on people.
No, but he made that really,
Damn,
really,
Jordan.
really, really good. And the technical aspect of what he was doing was very, very high up there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
a huge risk. It was one of those things that I thought looked extremely fun, and I would love to try doing it. Just give me
On someone
about a
else's
mini
bike.
bike and a much smaller rock to try it on.
Yeah.
And I would be totally maybe gonna do it.
Let me borrow the bike of someone that I really don't like that owes me money.
Yeah.
And I will try to do some of those things.
I may
That
feel
way
like I got that
don't-
money back.
Yeah, well, I don't feel guilty handing them back. It was like, yeah, it was piss and oil when you gave it to me, right?
Yeah, it totally wasn't working at the time.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
Russell Bobbitt,
Yes.
what do you think?
Awesome.
Knows how to ring out a two-stroke.
Yeah, and that's obviously, I've slowly converted myself to the dark side. Actually, hearing that two-stroke rapping out was awesome. And there was a badass mix of different types of riding in it. I mean, single track, a lot of big hit motocross sections.
He jumped the truck.
Yeah.
That's pretty-
Just
pretty-
a lot of
pretty
loose,
amazing.
yeah, loose dirt flying. Bobbitt section was badass.
Yeah, the guy can really, really ride, and he also does a really good job at varied terrains, and they really did show that well
Yeah.
in that. But he lives in Georgia, and on his parents' property and other little private places they have to ride, they have all those kind of, you know, the sand whoops, tight trees, and all the little fun little areas, and man, they really did show a good bit of that.
Yeah,
in that section.
the other thing from Bobbitt's section is it made me want to buy land. Just like, all this could be mine.
Yeah. I want to do this all the time.
So I could have a bunch of stuff that I look at and I was like, I can't ride this well.
And I have friends that'll come over and ride the crap out of it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right. All right. So overall, what was your opinion? What's your overall take now at the end? What would you tell people? What would you tell the viewer?
Well, viewing public, I would give this, being seat time and the fact that we dominate some pints around
Yeah.
here, I would rate this this DVD at 4 pints out of 5. I don't have a lot of experience. There aren't a lot of just cross-country off-road based videos. And so I'll be honest, it's not something that if I was getting my stuff together at the house before I went to ride, it's not what I would put in to get me pumped. I'd probably just crank some music, something along those lines. But that's really not a slight against it. This is something that after I got back, I would want to kick back, just kind of chill, watch this video, which, I mean, there are some fast-paced sections to it. I mean, everyone's riding faster than hell. But for me, it didn't have that vibe, but it's definitely something I watched it, and I felt, as ridiculous as it was, I had ideas for my own riding just watching someone's DVD
Kind of like
section.
how you can change it up, maybe try different
Yeah.
things, things like that.
Grow testicles, things like
Yeah.
that.
Ride harder, be more awesome.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I think I'm kind of on the same page. I would give this kind of a 4 out of 5. It was one of those things I really, really enjoyed watching. I think I totally have to agree with it. Something I have not seen before.
Yeah.
With the fact that it's kind of, you take the racing aspect out of cross country and off road and you bring it to the more free riding feel of everything. I really enjoyed watching that aspect of all the riders out there. But at the same time, it wasn't like a complete ampage, if you will. But I really, really enjoyed it. I want to see more of it, and I think that Red Tide Pictures did a great job, and I can't wait to see
Absolutely.
once there's some more funding, because I know that this was a very, very private project, and they had to really work hard for sponsors. Once there's some more, funding for that, I really think that it could be much bigger and much larger and way better. So.
And that's one of the aspects everyone needs to keep in mind. If you want to see something like this, if you want to see your favorite off-road racers in DVDs like this, what you need to do is support the people that are making these videos, because that's what's going to keep it rolling. That's what's going to keep things coming
Yep.
down the pipe for you to check this out.
And in case you did want to buy this, What If MX seatfilm.com is the URL, and you can actually purchase it right there. That's what we did, and that's how we got a hold of a copy of it. So it's you got to do what you got to do, and support the scene is one way to do it.
Absolutely.
So 4 out of 5 pints here on Seat Time. This is our first review. Hopefully there will be more of them. I don't have a pint, but what we always do is enjoy a pint full of awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, kids.
I want to say we're out, but he's not done yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Inner penis.
Inner penis. Enter the penis. It's like a new Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah, it's the follow-up to Enter the Dragon.
Bruce Lee Wong.
He had to turn
Bruce Lee
straight.